Experiences are the best tool you have in your life. How do you use it? What do you learn? What do you take out of experiences that you experience, let's put it that way, in your life? How do we treat that subject of experiences? Those are the questions I've been, thinking on, contemplating on recently, and I come up with a couple of ideas that I'd like to share with you. It's a very interesting concept, a very interesting idea, this thing that we call experiences. And we usually, there's a lot of things involved when we talk about experiences. It's emotions, it's where we are in time or in space. There's a lot of things happening around that subject of experiences. But have you ever really think about what is experience? What do they bring? What they are for? What's their purpose, let's put it that way. And first thing that I'd like to say is, as I've already pointed out, and I will be a couple of more times, is they are fundamental to our life and to our being and to who we are and what we do. And it's the tool that we usually use in a wrong way. If you check how people usually treat experiences, it's very wrong. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that. So experience, I've been thinking about that a lot recently, and it's a very, very interesting, a couple of interesting things that I come up with, and I'll be saying now. So I believe that experience is the fundamental block of our life, the fundamental building block of our lives, and we should learn to use it properly and to build our life with experiences properly. And the other thing that's very profound, I believe, is that experience is the ultimate thing that we are after as human beings. I believe that experience as that we have, the things that happen to us, are something that represent life and expansion. We are here in this form to expand. And the only way that we can expand as human beings, like universe expands, most of the things around you expand and grow. And so do we. And we do as well. And experiences are the building blocks of our expansion. And the more experiences we have as human beings, the more we evolve, or the more we can evolve. It's not that everybody evolves, even though everybody experiences experience. So it's a very, very interesting thing when you think about it. And I'd like to encourage you right here and now that you think about that subject of experiences and what you are doing around that subject, what you are doing with your experiences. Are you using experiences as fundamental blocks to create, to build your life? Or are you using experiences that harm you, that sabotage you, that slow you down in the progress or in this process of expansion of your life? These are very, very important questions, and I think if you ponder them correctly and if you read on that subject enough, you will see that yeah, it's a very good point, when we think about experiences. And experiences, it's an amazing tool and it's amazing faculty that we have as human beings where other creatures don't have that. And, I would like to point out at this state, at this, time, that we have so many amazing tools, like experiences being one of them, that we don't use, that we just take for granted. We don't think about it. We don't incorporate them. We don't use these higher faculties that we have as human beings, and experiences being one of them, to really grow and to expand and to do good to ourselves and, in life. And when we expand, and the faster we expand, the more we use these experiences to expand as human beings, the more we can contribute, and then it goes full circle. The more the happier we are, the more purposeful we are in life, and it's just a very good thing. And I believe, and I'm certain, it's a fundamental block of our expansion, of our well-being in this life that we are leading. And one thing that has been on my mind, and it's kind of linked to this, is we are limited in this forum, right? and we don't salvage our experiences properly. What we do with our experiences is we put a lot of bad stories on majority of them. You know, we experience something, emotions come up, we're in a given moment, we're doing something, is happening, but what we do is we put a lot of negative emotions, we put a lot of negative bad stories on, and then we share that with the world. That's not what they're for. They're here to help us expand. They're here to help us integrate what's not working or what's not in a proper place in our life or our environment. They're an amazing, amazing tool that has a very positive impact on our life if you let it. And I encourage you that you do so. First of all, what I've already said is I encourage you to really think about experiences. Contemplate on what does that mean, what experiences are for in our life. And I'm sure you will come to a conclusion as I have that, you know, we need them and they are fundamental blocks and they are something magical and beautiful. And it, you know, it helps us to really live passionately, fully. And yes, it's just an amazing asset and tool that we have as human beings that we should use in a better way that we do now. As I said, most of us are using experiences and put bad emotions and bad labels and bad stories on top of it. We can use them to put good things into our life. And even if something is, let's say, bad, the experience that we have helps us to learn and to grow and to move onward in our life. So it's either way you look at it, bad or good, it's amazing and it's supposed to be there. And it's something of tremendous value that we don't use. And this has been my thought for this week. I'm not gonna rant anymore about it. But if you find my content, at least, you know, just a little bit of encouragement or a good thing in your life, please consider supporting what I do. Subscribe, leave a comment, share things. I'm all for it. And I believe when we are salvaging experiences, when we're putting it into a practice, when we learn and expand from it, we can contribute more. And that's what I'm after. And I'm sure you are too, because, you know, from that, life can be amazing and beautiful. And yeah, think about it. I'll see you next week.